Chapter 6 focuses on psychological theories, which propose that drug dependency is a learned behavior that is modified and reinforced, rather than solely a specific disease cause. These theories explore what psychological factors lead some people to use more than others. 1. Learning theory. Learning is defined as a change in behavior brought on by a negative or positive experience reinforcement. Reinforcement. Drug use provides positive reinforcement euphoria, escape, despite significant negative reinforcement job loss. Incarceration addiction is thought to involve a dysfunction in decision-making, where negative consequences don't matter as much as the reward. Classical conditioning. Pavlov's drug cues objects, places evoke a conditioned response that triggers cravings, motivates drug seeking, and can lead to relapse. This process is tied to sign tracking. Operant conditioning. B.F. Skinner. Psychoactive drugs act as powerful behavioral reinforcers like food or sex, tolerance and extinction. Tolerance is part of habituation, where the body needs more of the drug for the same effect. Extinction learning is used in treatment to replace drug-related behaviors with new, non-drug behaviors to overcome addiction. 2. Personality theory. This theory suggests that addiction is an expression of abnormal personality traits. The addictive personality. Associated traits. Traits linked to excessive substance abuse include being highly emotional, having a low frustration tolerance, being impulsive, seeking rewards, having low self-esteem, and high anxiety. Key predictor. Extroversion, especially when associated with impulsivity, is most closely linked to excessive substance abuse. Research. Traits like impulsivity, sensation-seeking, and neuroticism consistently predict more severe addiction patterns, though the theory is only a partial predictor. 3. Psychodynamic theory. The psychodynamic view, rooted in Freud's ideas, sees addiction as a way to cope with unconscious conflict. Mechanisms. Addiction is viewed as a defense mechanism against painful emotions, a way to self-medicate overwhelming feelings, or a desperate adaptation to adverse environments. It is a compulsive attempt to reenact and master earlier trauma. Modern view focuses on the pleasure principle. Individuals who have a hard time finding pleasure in their real world turn to drugs for it. They use drugs to turn off feelings of rage, fear, and panic. Goal of therapy: to bring unconscious motives and emotions into consciousness and strengthen the ego. Self-discipline, courage. 4. Humanistic theory. This theory, Maslow, emphasizes self-actualization, personal growth, and authenticity. View of addiction. Addiction is seen as a block to self-actualization, a symptom of unmet psychological needs rather than a disease or moral failing. Treatment focus: reconnecting with the person's true self and restoring meaning, autonomy, and purpose to their life. 5. Attachment theory. This theory examines the universal need for intimate relationships, starting with early parent-child interactions. Core idea: addiction may substitute for healthy human connection and act as a coping mechanism for emotional distress. Attachment continuum. Insecure attachment risk factor is associated with using substances, compulsive behaviors to self-medicate or manage emotion regulation. Secure attachment protective factor is linked to healthy emotional regulation. Risk. Disorganized insecure attachment, often linked to inconsistent parenting or trauma, is associated with the greatest risk for substance misuse. 6. Rational theory. Core idea: people use drugs because they only consider the short-term positives without fully realizing or caring about the dangers or long-term harm. Proposed solution: increasing knowledge about long-term negative effects is believed to decrease use. Critique. It often fails because people become more afraid of withdrawal and social change than they are of the drug's long-term effects.